Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys why I think a big breakout is coming to Bitcoin either today or in the next couple of days. And in fact guys, it's not entirely impossible for Bitcoin to have the breakout before this video even goes live. I mean, look at that. Bitcoin, with the way I had my resistance drawn last night, is currently above that resistance level. Needless to say, I think Bitcoin is in prime territory to have a breakout either today or in the next couple of days. So in today's video we're going to be discussing this run-up that Bitcoin had last night, and the fact that we're testing major resistance again after we just did that a couple of days ago, as you can see. And we're also going to be discussing this longer term consolidation pattern and why I think a break of it may be coming relatively soon. And to wrap up guys, we're also going to be discussing all of the technicals surrounding this market right now so that you guys can plan a profitable trade. So if you want to learn how to trade this market moving into the next couple of days, I highly encourage you guys to stick around until the end of the video where we'll be covering that. If you guys enjoyed today's video, likes are appreciated. I'd love for you guys to hit the like button. It helps out the channel. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. We do daily cryptocurrency content. I try to keep you guys as up to date on the market as I possibly can. So without much further ado, guys, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. Guys, I'm going to be real with you. I am bullish. I am biased in favor of the bulls right now because I believe in their case. But in this video, I'm going to try to be non-biased and show you both cases because there is a case to be made for the bulls as well as for the bears. So I'm going to try to make both of them, allow you guys to come to your decisions, and then I'll make my conclusion at the end of the video while I show you guys what trades to make. Now, the very first thing that we need to discuss, the white elephant in the room, is the fact that Bitcoin has been in a downtrend for the last 5 months. I am fully aware of that. Not only has Bitcoin been in a downtrend for the last 5 months, Bitcoin had a 45% rally here just a little over a month ago. And from there, even after that, we were still not able to begin and maintain a new uptrend. That's a very big point in favor of the bears, one that should not and cannot be ignored. But that being said, guys, there's a lot of people in my comment section that are extremely bearish right now. And I want to ask you a question. Where do bull markets start? It's a pretty simple question, really, and it doesn't necessarily mean anything for us right now, but it is important to remember, where do bull markets start? Bull markets aren't starting up here in the middle of the trend, guys. Bull markets start at the bottom of the previous market. So what you need to do when you're trying to discern where the new bull market is starting, where the new uptrend is starting, is you need to try and figure out somewhere close to where the bottom is on the market at the moment. This bull market started over here at the bottom of that market. This bull market started over here at the bottom of this market. Now, the bottom of this market might be right here. It might be right here. It might be right here. Who knows? But the point is, it has to bottom out somewhere, so you can't just keep calling bearish until the end of time, because eventually the market is going to put a bottom in. So with that being said, I personally believe that Bitcoin is getting pretty close to the bottom unless a few bad things happen, i.e. what we're going to be discussing in today's video. Because as you guys can see, Bitcoin is in this consolidation pattern right here. Over the last 10 days or so, Bitcoin has been constricting, it's been consolidating, it's been squeezing in on itself. Bitcoin tried to break bullish yesterday and was unable to sustain that. But as you can see, these two trend lines are coming closer and closer, and they're going to converge in about 2 days. And unless Bitcoin redefines this uptrend down here, which it very well may do, there is most likely going to be a major breakout to the upside or to the downside, both of which are easily 5 to 10% trades without leverage. Before I go any further, by the way, I do want to mention one of the easiest trades to make is a breakout trade on a consolidation pattern. Whether this breaks bullish or bearish, this is a great trade for you to practice on. Whether you want to paper trade it or trade it with a small amount of money, I highly encourage you guys to get practice with trading if you're newer to trading by working with this breakout, because I have a feeling a big one is coming in the next few days, be it bullish or bearish. That's what this video is for. The point is, a breakout is more than likely coming, and it's a great place to learn and get experience in the market. So let's start talking about all these different technicals. There are a lot to cover. First and foremost, I think it's important to understand what we're dealing with as bulls. Guys, first of all, we are sitting below the 20 daily exponential moving average. That's a very important moving average, one that I have covered many times here on the channel, and I think you guys understand just how important it is. Bitcoin has rejected off of it in the last few days. For Bitcoin to establish any kind of longer term uptrend, we first need to get above, with a lot of volume and a lot of exuberance, above this moving average. From there, I either want to see the market come down and test this moving average as support and bounce off of it, establishing a new bottom that is higher than the previous ones, or just run straight to the moon and forget all about it. Whatever happens, Bitcoin needs to get above this moving average because that's critical support. That's not all of it, guys, because if you look at your VPVR, if you have TradingView Pro, which by the way, you can get with the link in the description down below and help the channel out, then you will see that Bitcoin is currently sitting below a major level of resistance on the VPVR. There's a very good reason why we haven't had a major breakout in the last couple of days. It's because we're sitting below the 20 EMA, but at the same time, we're also sitting below a VPVR climax. This is some of the strongest resistance that Bitcoin has right now. If we break this, we're kind of off to the races, guys, because that was the worst of it. So how would we actually go about breaking it? Well, guys, remember some of the things that we've discussed in previous videos. I'll be brief because of what I just said. Bitcoin has broken bullish on the MACD on the daily chart. On the 4-hourly chart, MACD is still diverging bullish. And on the weekly chart, MACD is starting to converge bullish on itself. All of those are good signs. Furthermore, though, guys, we're seeing that Bitcoin is above both of these moving averages. 2 and 1 we've gotten above the 50 and the 100 weekly simple moving average. Both of those are important levels of resistance that Bitcoin is currently above. And one more thing that I want to point out to you guys is what's been going on in the last 12 hours here on Bitcoin. Let's go down to the minute chart and show you something. Look at how Bitcoin has been uptrending here. It's been moving to the upside for the last 12 hours or so. For the last 8 hours, in fact, Bitcoin has been moving. It's moved about 4%. That's significant, and it's not significant because it moved 4% in 8 hours. It's significant because yesterday we tested a major level of resistance, this downtrend right here. We rallied very quickly. We Bart Simpson right back down. That would indicate strength in the bears, but guess what? The bears were not able to hold on to it for very long because we pretty much Bart Simpson right back up, which means that the bulls got overexcited. They pushed themselves too far. They exhausted themselves. They couldn't keep enough buy orders on the books, and the bears took back control of the market right now. But this is war, guys. The bulls are still strong, else we wouldn't have been able to rally that far that quickly. We have now come up and tested this level of resistance once and twice in the last 3 days. That's important. For those of you in the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, from support and resistance and from the convergence of support and resistance, in both of those videos, we talk about how when you go up and test a level of resistance several times, like I'm talking more than 3 times, it's very likely that Bitcoin is going to break that level. Now, if we look down at the 5-minute chart, what you're going to see is that Bitcoin has tested this level of resistance many times, not actually just twice. We tested it a whole lot over here. We were running up against it, beating our head against it quite a bit yesterday, and this morning we've run up to it once and twice, and we might see another one that might be the breakout even before this video goes live. Hopefully Bitcoin waits until this video is up before it does that, though. The point here is, guys, that Bitcoin has been in a downtrend for the last 5 months. Bitcoin has been in correction for 120 days. And while that is pretty normal for the market, it's also normal to have a bounce by now. There's nothing really wrong with the fundamentals, guys. Bitcoin's fundamentals are doing nothing but improving, so there's no real reason to believe that Bitcoin can't go back to $20,000 when we've already done it once in the past. I mean, it's really interesting, guys. If you compare the fear and greed index with the shorts and the longs charts, then you get a really interesting metric of the market. The fear and greed index is saying that we're extremely fearful right now. We're saying at 21, which in my opinion is a major contrarian signal. And at the same time, guys, the longs are absolutely mooning. And frankly, I don't think the people longing here are to be bet against at the moment. I think a lot of the people that are longing right now realize that Bitcoin has retraced 45% from the yearly high, and they realize that Bitcoin is set for a bounce, if not now, sometime before February 1st, I think. What it comes down to, guys, is that Bitcoin is trying to establish a new uptrend. Right now, we have higher lows and we have lower highs. That is a consolidation pattern, and that means tension. And guess what, guys? Tension means a break of that tension. When two tectonic plates start sliding against each other and there's a lot of friction built up, eventually one slides, and then the city of San Francisco slides into the Pacific. But in this case, guys, it means that Bitcoin has a major breakout on volume that we can trade for a large gain. What we're looking for here is volume, and a lot of it. We saw some volume yesterday with that little faux breakout, but it wasn't enough. We saw one candlestick, it was not sustained. Bitcoin was unable to stay above this downtrend of resistance for very long. What we need to see now is Bitcoin do the exact same thing. If we put 2 wicks like this in this resistance, it is going to smash it. Bitcoin is trying to get above it right now. The only question is whether or not it's going to succeed. The question is not whether or not that's what it's trying to do, because it is. So guys, here's the scoop. Here's the trade. You guys want to know where the trade is? Here's the trade. Bitcoin is in consolidation. A breakout is most likely coming. If you're looking to trade this market, here's what you want to do. You want to either put an entry position for a long right here or an entry position for a short right here. Now, why do I say that? Why do I not say put an entry position right down here? The reason for that is, guys, you never trade a breakout before the breakout has happened. You need to wait for the breakout to happen. Okay, I'm going to say it again. You need to wait for the breakout to happen. People do that all the time, and it screws them over, because if you trade the breakout before it's happened, you're far more likely to get stopped out. If instead you put your trade up here around 75.50, which is funny because that's where someone in the first cohort, John, just said he was going to enter. If you put that trade in there around 75.50, then you're protecting yourself at least a little bit from false breakouts. And then if you're on an exchange like Bybit, you can set a trailing stop loss of maybe $50 and let Bitcoin rally as you have some leverage on it. But you don't want to trade below the breakout. So if you're going to trade long, here's what you need to do. Have an entry up here between 75.50 and 7.6. Somewhere around there I think is good. After that, you can ride the trade for as long as you want. You can exit right here at our previous resistance at 7,800. Or if you think Bitcoin's going even higher, you can continue riding the trade. That is completely up to you. I'm not a financial advisor. Don't sue me if you make a loss. And always remember to have a stop loss, whether it's a trailing stop loss, like I said, or a stop loss right down here on this resistance that would then become support. So there you go. There's your long trade. What about the short? It's the same thing in reverse, guys. If you think Bitcoin's going to fall down here, you want an entry down here around maybe $7,100 to give Bitcoin room to prove itself. It falls through that. You catch the trade. Then you set up a trailing stop loss, maybe $50 to the upside again. I personally think if Bitcoin breaks bearish, we're going to 6,500 and probably not much lower than that because that's down in the golden pocket, which is sitting right around here. And always remember to have a stop loss. A stop loss would probably be right around there somewhere. But guys, remember, if you're going to trade this market, it's a very easy trade to make. It's a great trade for beginners and experienced traders alike because there's a lot of money that can be made off of it. This is a trade that if you think you're up to it, you could use a little bit of higher leverage on. But no matter what you do, guys, remember two things. Always have a stop loss and always wait for the breakout with volume. I'm not talking about one of these wicks up here. I'm talking about a big volume candlestick like we had here. These false breakouts right here, by the way, that's why you use a stop loss. So guys, what's my conclusion on this? Where do I think Bitcoin's going? You tuned in for my opinion. I have been working in these markets for over 2 years, guys. Going on 3, actually. And I've been teaching people how to read these markets pretty much every day since I started. In the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, there's a video on gut feeling that talks about your instinct, your intuition, your gut. And people sometimes conflate that concept with emotional trading or trading reactively, and that's not what it is. Your gut feeling, your instinct, your intuition, it's what keeps you alive in the real world. It's your gut feeling, it's your instinct, it's your pain reflex that makes you pull your hand off a stove or step out of traffic right before you get run into a car. In the same way, it's a very important resource here in cryptocurrency, and a lot of times people try to detach their instincts from their trading, which is the biggest mistake that everybody makes. So if there's one thing you take away from this video, remember this. The longer you've been working in this market, the more you're going to be able to trust that gut of yours. The more movements that you've seen, the more you're going to be able to trust your instinct. Do not waste that resource. I think Bitcoin's going to break to the upside because I have a feeling that it's going to based off of all of the technicals and especially off of the interesting way that Bitcoin has been moving here over the last 24 hours. We had a gigantic breakout, then we trended right back up to the same resistance that we just rejected off of. My gut's telling me we're going to have a bullish breakout in the next 3 or 4 days. But you have to realize something. Your gut is not omnipotent. It doesn't know everything. It can't read the future. So that has to be updating on the fly. Right now, that's what my gut's telling me, but that's going to change. I guarantee it today. It's going to change. It might not change very much, but it's going to change somehow because Bitcoin is always moving. It's always updating. By the time this video goes out, I'm probably going to have a slightly different opinion on the market if it does something. By the time this video goes out, I'm probably going to have a slightly different opinion because the market is always moving and a good trader is able to react to the market in real time. So guys, as you move on with your trading day, as you implement some of these trades that we made, I implore you, remember your gut. Remember your instinct. If you've been in the market for less than a year, honestly, it's probably not the best resource for you. Honestly, your gut very well may make you lose more trades than you make. But if you've been in the market 2, 3, 4, 5 years, if you worked in stock markets before cryptocurrency markets, if you've been watching the markets every single day like I have, then there's a pretty good feeling that that's a good resource that you may be missing out on. So make sure you're using that to your advantage. Whatever happens, guys, the future for Bitcoin is bright and I could not be happier about it. And I look forward to enjoying that future with each and every single one of you. Before we wrap up, I do want to remind you of the first cohort. We've got an amazing community over there. It's growing every day. We've got some amazing guys and gals over there, and we talk in the voice chat quite a lot. I post trades when I see them in the trade ideas section, and I try to be as active as possible over there. I was just in a voice call with someone yesterday explaining my trading strategy to them because they had a lot of questions. I answered all of them in like 5 minutes. I broke down everything that I do in my trading because it's really not as complicated as some people think it is. There's a lot of knowledge that goes into it, but the actual strategies themselves are not that hard. Guys, if you join the first cohort, you're going to get access to me, our amazing community. You're going to get access to 8 amazing, high-quality, handcrafted videos down here that have been well-edited, designed to show you what you need to know about trading. These are important concepts that are not in CT2A. And guys, at the end of the day, you're going to enjoy the product, and you're also going to be helping to support the channel so that we can continue making and improving these videos every single day like I want to, guys. I want to continue to grow the channel and therefore thereby grow the cryptocurrency space. So if you want to support us, that's a great way to do it. The link is down below. Anyway, guys, that is pretty much going to wrap it up for today's video. By the way, there are affiliate links down below. If you need any of those products, I use every single one of them, and I highly recommend every single one of them. Each of those links helps you, and it also helps the channel. So if you're interested, check those out down below. We have NordVPN, TradingView, Ledger, Binance, and Coinbase. I got all 5 of them in one take. But anyway, guys, that actually is going to wrap it up for today's video. I do want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good feeling.